Well, Matt joining us right now on the Chevy Silverado Celebrity Hotline. His first time with his feet to the fire. You know, you think LaGreca's tough. Wait till we get a hold of Brandon Gomes. Dodger GM. First year, man. First time on a show, I think. Maybe the second. Pride of Fall River, Massachusetts. Pitched at Tulane. Right there in the Garden District. People got money. Pitched 5 seasons in the big leagues. We're happy to have him on. The trade deadline has come and gone, and the Doyers are looking good. What's cracking, Mr. Gomes? How are you?
I'm doing all right, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Great.
Are you ready? Are you ready to get grilled so hard?
What an intro.
Yeah, the Chevy Silverado Celebrity Hotline's about to toast you, Gomes.
You work in the green wave, and my God, look out.
Yeah, well, we know about you ever been to the Camellia Grill over there on Carrollton?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they make a good cheeseburger, don't they, Gomes?
Heck yes. Great price.
There we go.
So what was this experience like for you, your first year? I know you've been very close to this and very used to this for a long time, but what were the characteristics of this deadline that made it the way it is right now and the fans are reacting?
Yeah, I mean, each year has its own vibe. This year I think was a little bit slower on the front end as I think there were pieces waiting to fall before everything else came into place. So, on that front, it was a little bit slower than the years past. For us personally, we're always having a ton of different conversations, and we're fortunate enough to have a really high bar of talent on our major league team. So those conversations kind of end up focusing on the higher end of the group. So those are generally more difficult to acquire. But those are the types of players we're looking to bring into the org to help, supplement an already talented roster.
I don't know how much you feel like you can share or willing to share, but like if you could just walk us through, doesn't have to be individual player specific, but are teams coming back to you saying, hey, do you want to sweeten this a little bit? This is what we got here versus what you're offering. Or is it kind of, here's our best offer, it's not going to change, let us know. Like, because I would assume you're trying to spin a lot of plates with 3 o'clock sitting there waiting.
Yeah, the conversations start earlier in the week, trying to get a feel for where different teams are and what may or may not be possible. So you kind of set the foundation earlier in the week, and then as things go, each team handles things differently. Some teams are, hey, this is, where it's going to be, and we're not going to move. Sometimes it's, going back and forth, different constructs. You end up adding or subtracting pieces. So it's generally quite a fluid situation when you're going through the mechanics of it all. It's part of what's fun about the process, and it also is why I think things tend to take longer, and you see moves being made really as the deadline approaches, when I think people generally will be most willing to give out their best and final.
General manager of the Dodgers, Brandon Gomes, is with us, his first year as the general manager. Trade deadline has come and gone. Dodgers have sent out a couple players we saw on the Major League roster, Mitch White, Jake Lamb. They bring in someone that was on a Major League roster, and Joey Gallo. I've been talking about this quite a bit today, and, people that don't have the level of baseball acumen you do, like me, idiots, we look at the numbers and we say, how does it make sense to bring in a guy that's hitting 159 that strikes out as much as he does? What is it that they see that we just look at numbers and can't quite see? Kind of walk us through the idea behind Joey. He certainly struggled this season in New York, and how you think he'll end up being an asset for you.
If you look at Joey's totality of his career, I mean, it's a multi-all-star, it's elite defense in the outfield. His power speaks for itself. And we feel like there's, he's been quite unlucky with ball and play luck. A lot of the underlying stuff isn't that different when he was, an all-star. And I think his makeup and his defensive addition and the power and feeling like we have some adjustments that we can do with, how good our hitting group is, we feel like it was a really good opportunity to to add an incredibly talented player that fits our mix of being able to add some outfield depth to our group, and like kind of being able to mix and match all of our different guys and give us some opportunities to rest guys here and there without lowering the bar.
Dodgers GM Brandon Gomes is our guest on the Petros and Money Show. It's a 12-game lead. Dodgers have the best record right now in baseball. You guys have added a bat and a reliever that we're talking about. But, you know, the fans see other big splashy moves. The Braves didn't make any big moves last year. They kind of played it safe and ended up winning it all. Is it just a characteristic of the year, or I don't know, what is there a philosophy behind that, or do you feel like you have to be in defense mode when you don't make a big move just for the sake of doing it?
As I mentioned earlier, I think that, you know, maintaining the really high bar because of how good our team has been, and also being mindful of, like, I feel like there's a pretty special dynamic in our clubhouse right now. Our guys are, you know, they love being around each other. Just watch our games. They're having fun on top of being incredibly talented. So we have that piece. We have a lot of guys coming back off the IL. I mean, you have Chris Taylor right around the corner on the pitching side coming back soon, assuming everything continues to progress well, is like Dustin May, Gratterall, Trinan, Victor Gonzalez, Bueller, Danny Duffy. Like, all of these guys at some point are going to be in the mix, and that's that talent level, I'm not sure you could really go out and acquire. So we're really happy with the team that we have right now and the guys that are coming up off the IL soon, and then also our internal options with, you know, we added James Outman lately, earlier this week, and then Miguel Vargas. So we feel like we have a very talented group, and just being mindful of kind of how all of these pieces fit together.
You mentioned Vargas with two going out, Mitch White, Jake Lamb. Joey Gallo will take one of those spots, and then Vargas, who was in the futures game, been touted as a premium prospect for the Dodgers, being called up. Had not mentioned that yet. Our bad on that breaking news. Just you were rumored, and whether or not they're accurate or not, I'm not sure, Brandon. But to be in some of those closer conversations. How are you, kind of where you at with the back end of that bullpen, and, maybe some of the flags that we've seen, the red flags, if you want to call them that, with Craig Kimbrell from time to time. And you mentioned the guys that are coming back and Trinan and Gratterall, but just sort of your current position on where the closer position stands, and how concerned, if you are at all, about Craig Kimbrell.
I mean, we have all the belief in the world in Craig. We don't feel any differently about him, and we acquired him. I mean, I think, going back to some of the underlying stuff, like, it's really not that different from when he was with the Cubs last year in the first half. So it's some minor tweaks here and there. I know he's been grinding a ton, and with our pitching coaches, and we feel good about him moving forward, and then adding, our other guys that are moving around in the, 7th, 8th, 6th inning, however it works out, plus the additions coming back off the IL. We felt like that's a strength of the team.
We just mentioned, or you mentioned, Outman, and we had James Outman on yesterday, and he was an awesome guest, and always really fun to talk to a young guy who has immediate success. I guess you shouldn't be surprised when you call somebody up. You expect them to have success, but when a guy comes up and literally, can't get out, how much fun is that to watch unfold? Is it as fun for you guys as it is for the fans?
Yeah, it's equally as fun. It's not more getting to see James put in the work over the years, and during the COVID year, he's out driving places to go find pitchers to hit off of live VP. I mean, it's a great person, incredibly talented athlete. So it was awesome to see him go out there and have immediate success and fit right in. And, as talented as he is, he's an even better person.
Last thing for you, Brandon.
Too bad you guys
Go ahead.
Too bad you guys are on radio, because the hair is outstanding.
We saw him. He looks like the 9 Inch Nails guy there.
Little Trent Reznor.
Yeah,
action
little
there.
Reznor.
Speaking of Tulane in the Garden District there. A little
Come on.
connection there with Trent
People
Reznor.
got money.
Last thing
Autobahn
for you, Brandon, if you could, and I just pulled it up because I just remembered it. Our producer, Tim Cates, who does Dodgers on Deck and Dodgers Radio, reminded us and dug this out. Nick Frasso went to Petros' alma mater, Peninsula High. What can you tell us about Nick Frasso, who you got from in the deadline deal here? We're excited about this.
Yeah, we really liked him coming out of the draft, and now he's come back from surgery, and it's high octane stuff. The fastball quality is elite. All of the makeup reports are outstanding. Talked to him earlier today. He was really excited to be a part of the organization. So, anytime you move a player like Mitch White, who was obviously a really nice part of our team, and our coaches love him. He's a great dude and somebody that we developed and drafted. It's tough to see him go, but we are also very excited about having Nick in New York.
Yeah, Frasso shoves it 100 miles per hour, Peninsula Panthers. All right, Mr. Gomes, we sure appreciate you joining us. We know every weekend you do a big linguiça gumbo, and we just think it's a wonderful thing that you're the GM. Good luck in the home stretch, and hopefully we'll be able to talk to you soon.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.
You as well.
There you go, man. We're building the foundation of a relationship.